on the defender side, we will have China win, while on the attacker side, it will be the team of FaZe. So they have warmed up as well on Blind, as we saw them play before, just the match before against 100 Thieves, and it was looking good on that side as well. And now we're moving into this matchup here with an execution starting towards the A side.
Oh, that Boombot. That's got to feel so weird, but he's just going to get involved, jump down. Corey takes him out with a headshot, and now the rest of FaZe will start to get that spike down. The rest, of course, of the defense, 3 strong, looking to try to retake the site. And there's a big, long flank through the Wishbone, but the rest of the defense is already starting to fall apart with the early pick here from Raucus. Tai T up in heaven, but he's waiting for the Cypher player, Cute Fat Boy, to make his way through A short.
So with the spike planet now, Cute Fat Boy pushing forward on this retake, but he's getting shot by a crossfire at Tetris, and even at Heaven, they're being pushed through. So Baby Bay and company of FaZe starting off strong, actually. I did like the play from the Omen that started things off, though, at the showers. I don't know if you've noticed there, Simo, he actually threw a Paranoia down towards that Boombot. So throwing that the blind onto the Boombot, he was hoping that the Boombot wouldn't spot him, so he could jump down and get the entry frag onto the Raze moving through. But still, it is going to be FaZe pushing it super aggressively after those initial kills and being able to get the spike down in the first round onto the board. So that means we will have guns no matter what now for FaZe, and they are looking for some pressure towards this fountain side, and only one lurking towards this hookah. It's going to be the Cypher play to spot things out towards this hookah side, while Cute Fat Boy is doing the same towards Long B. As they spot a couple of bodies, they decide to fall back and play a little bit more passively.
Yeah, just some early looks here from FaZe. I mean, at the end of the day, on a round like this, you don't really want to lose some of your weaponry. We've already seen some ecos, specifically out of Bloom, really go not to the way of some of these teams. So early on, we do find 2 picks here for Corey. Pretty standard stuff to get the site. Wall goes up, and now you're hearing the connector play, but Mark already in a great position. Is not really able to find even one frag. Baby Bay now with the Ghost keeps it alive, but Decop upgrading now to a Bulldog has to deal with his teammate now trying to push forward. Pancakes and Decop pushing him through hookah as that spike, of course, is ticking down. Pancakes trying to set things up with a little bit of a cloud smoke here to cover off wood, but Zachary's playing down below, but gets a blast pack to the dome. He's going to feel that one in the morning now. Decop making his way through, but unfortunately for him, Corey with the 3-piece on the round. So a 2-0 start from FaZe. When you win the pistol, it's something that we expect. But now this is China Win's opportunity with the gun round to really make a dent on this defensive side.
The other thing that I find weird, though, at least for FaZe, because I know when you guys are watching games now, for professional games too, when teams win that pistol, it doesn't necessarily mean that they always go for a force buy on that second round, because they want to build that economy up to get full Phantoms or even full Vandals if they could onto that third round. That's why you see when they've already upgraded for Ghosts on that first round, thinking that it's going to be pistols on the second round, save for the team losing, of course. It's just going to be their aim versus aim, pistol versus pistol. But at the same time, though, why would you want to play that way? You might as well just play 2 pistol rounds at that point. So build that economy on your side, use that third round with your Spectres as a bonus round, and then hopefully you hurt the economy enough if you lose a round, so it turns things back to an even established game on the first half on the fourth round or not. That being said, though, we already have a showstopper from Corey inside the site, hopping in, but everybody has fallen back, and we're going to play the retake side for China Win.
Yeah, I almost thought that showstopper almost would have hit, but of course the defense will back away. Dixon doing a great job holding on to the site. I think that was the self-boost. Yep, that's going to be in the back of site that he boosts up. He finds the picks that they need, and now FaZe, they're struggling to find their way and navigate through this post-plant. Corey doing at least a decent job to keep some of the members at bay, but I think really at what cost? This round is nearing its end. Marv trying to set down some smokes, really give them an escape path. But so far, they're just moving together. Shots are not going to connect onto Pancakes. He'll just mow him down. And did they even get the spike down? No, they didn't even get the spike down. Didn't have enough time. So, I mean, it's a gun round. I'd love to see when that first gun round comes in, which will probably be the round to follow this, depending on what FaZe look like in terms of the economy. But it's a standard setup here, 2-1 start for China Win.
Yeah, I definitely get the idea for FaZe Clan on that clutch of our tempo of clutch with those 2 players together, because they were on a 2 versus 3. They knew nobody was going to be flanking at that point because of a self boost and a couple of guys coming in from the spawn. They're having a bit of trouble on this boost, but they finally get it here for China Win. That being said, though, they wanted to put that smoke towards that back, push through, and then hopefully go through defender spawn and plant towards A. But the smoke was a little bit off, so they couldn't really cover each other. And no, that's a big shot through the wall to start things off, and that's going to use off the heal for the FaZe Clan to start things off. but as they are trying to split towards this A side, they have already lost a player by the A Cubby.
And really on pistol rounds, you want to try to stack together, especially if you're rocking those classics. I mean, the Sheriffs can do quite some damage, but especially if you're running classics, you want to stack together. Really improves to be honest, the viability of having 5 classics. But doesn't always work out, right? Especially on a map like Haven. I know we're not on Haven, but if you stack and you read correctly on what site that the attackers are going to hit, if you're the defense on the eco, it can work out. So for FaZe, we'll see if those Sheriffs are able to really come through for them. I mean, it's still an investment nonetheless, but they will be on the gun round to follow. So looking at their early attempts at A, nothing really worked out. They tried to push in, smoked off, but now trying to win. Will they pull one off of A? They need the information to see that FaZe is pushing up, and they'll get that very shortly.
The thing that's difficult right now for FaZe is they don't have smokes to work with. So they're really going to have to just jump in, try to go for shock darts, to recon arrow to try to get some information and get something done from that. So they put the stage wall and they allow Core to get through, but all of their players has fallen down. So now it's pretty much Corey stuck at J, and that's a very hard site to take. Like I said, when you don't have any smokes, I'm jealous that he has the Sakura Sheriff. That's been one I've been waiting for weeks and weeks, and it still hasn't popped up on my store. Rito, but that being said, Corey falls back, gets spammed through the smoke, and it's going to be a round coming in now for trying to win, and we've already evened up the tally on a 2-2. So when WTF Moses was asking us before, are they going to be able to come back and pull back in this matchup so far for FaZe, you could see that now that the economy's in after the pistol round loss, it's starting to look that pretty dominant, at least here, for trying to win on their defender side.
Yeah, but this is going to be the gun round that I was talking about. I mean, the couple of rounds of momentum swinging back and forth, this is FaZe's opportunity to really make a dent or to try to run away with the lead. For those of you that may have, we did kind of get into the game a little bit abruptly. I just want to give you a little bit of an update on the actual map veto. It's Bind, Ascent, and Split. And we definitely saw how Split was earlier today. It does seem like it's a map that China Win are comfortable with. And so we can expect if it does go to map 3, FaZe might struggle. But at the end of the day, we do have this theory that they are warmed up. We'll see if that theory is put to the test here, as this gun round very important for FaZe to win.
Yeah, that's right. So they are looking for this control on mid side for FaZe. They do have the Silva and the Brimstone, so they could play that information, maybe go for a set piece, but at the same time, you see that one-way smoke from that Omen being thrown. So that allows here Pancakes to actually see, or anybody else playing towards Tetris, which seems to be that Raze, to look down towards the short A side if anybody's going to try to run across. So I think the execution, if they're going to try to get more here for FaZe, is to wait for that smoke to dissipate like it does now, get the Owl Drone out. Now they at least they spot Decop at Tetris, but that's the only information they have. So they still have a great crossfire right now for trying to win on this A side short.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if they can just delay, that's kind of the name of the game. They are starting to make their way in. The wall goes up. An early pick onto Decop means that it likely will be the success of the plan, but Pancakes off to the side, now having one push in. It's Marv. He's hungry. He finds the headshot still. There are a couple of members that remain. Smoked off is Tai-T, and now cannot be involved unless he drops down. The rest of the team are pinching in from both sides. One from the vents, and the other going to be pushing up through towards a short. We'll see how this works out. Dixon has the up in hand, but is trying to clear out some of these 50s and give a lot more space for his team to work with. A lot of members from FaZe are on the site and looking to defend. The rest comes through for Decop, and now it's the numbers advantage here for China Win. But still, they need to deal with Corey, who's just cooking up, and he finds 2. Oh, goodness, FaZe. A round they needed, a round they win.
It was a tough one, too, because whenever they tried to put that wall up, I think they were trying to wall towards you, but it landed on the box, on the jumping box at the short side of A, which basically nullified the wall. It was easy for any defender to wide swing, come out and get the kill, which is exactly what happened there on that U side. But at least off a post-plan situation, they looked a lot better for FaZe. They were able to make sure that they got the big rotators like Cute Fat Boy coming out from the hookah side of B into the market, into short A, and allowed them there to get that round. 3-2, moving into round number 6. We do see right now a gun round, a double operator setup now for China Win. So they have built the economy enough, and they're in great positions now. Even Dixon maybe to get this first kill on the defender side from Hookah.
It's an early look towards as well. This type of peak, you either win it or lose it, and Dixon does definitely not want to be on the losing end. So now the peak is starting to come through. Marv actually crosses, and Dixon, you don't want to lose those duels there. So Cute Fat Boy still able to help defend the push from Hookah, but now there's still a couple more members that are going to be pushing in from long. Orbital Strike is used to get Cute Fat Boy out of position, and boy does he hightails it towards the corner. He will not get tagged, and now it's still FaZe deciding how are we going to push in. But look at Marv. He's already rotated. The portal is called, and now we'll see if they can really hold on to this site here for China Win.
Yeah, at least the synergy is there for China Win, right? You missed that operator shot. You put a wall up, Q5 board to defend, but now as they're pushing in for FaZe inside this A side, Decop's just on that bench, on that right side, going for the spray, cannot connect as Zachary gets the wall bank to save his teammates, but then two more line up here for Cute Fat Boy and to Tai T. Marv trying to retaliate. It is now a one person alive for China Win, and it's going to be that 1 versus 2. They've made it through the teleporter and moved inside the site. A nice trap wire now. They're going to shoot it off, at least get the spike plan down. But the information is there at least for Tai T to play. Brimstone is so low on HP, op shot missed, and Tai T will try to get this clutch.
Yeah, last member standing does not feel good in that scenario. Rock is going to send him to the graveyard. Moses, if you're listening, I really want to know who the IGL is for FaZe, because that clear communication that they had, they called the portal early in the round, then the connector when things went sour on that A site. I mean, yes, they got scrappy, they got involved, frags were commenced, but at the end of the day, they called that rotate again back through the portal, used both portals that round. How often do you see that? To be honest, not often. So I'd love to see who the IGL is for FaZe to give us a better picture of what the communication is like, because that was some great Valorant out of FaZe Clan.
Well, they try to put the camera up to start and see if anybody's going to push towards short B as they're pushing down short A for the defender side, but Pancake is the first to fall. As he's leaning out, Marv gets a second kill onto Tai T, still moving forward, looking for some backup at the same time for this buddy system towards A. But as they already have that neural theft, it's going to be the call for them to fall back towards this A side, because there's only one player. It's going to be Decop. He does get the first kill with the Judge, looking for the second one. Blast pack across the corner, but we're still staying alive just around the Tetris. And finally, Marv gets that triple kill. They know the last one is going to rotate here from the spawn side J, and they weren't able to connect on that shot. They do have a res if they want, but since they are on an eco for trying to win, it should be it here. DXN, the last one with this shorty, is just going to look to do some damage at this point, as one is pushing forward with the operator. He pulls the knife out. It wasn't the operator, it was the Phantom, but he got caught with a knife in his hands. DXN will fall, and Marv makes it 5-2.
You know, I was thinking about that Judge play from Decop. It was almost good, but in that second engagement when he was hiding behind Tetris, his crosshair placement was like towards the box. I think Marv was just ready for it. It was unfortunate timing there for Decop. Maybe he wasn't prepared, or maybe he was trying to get into position. But nevertheless, looking like a great hot start here for FaZe. Definitely a different FaZe than what we saw maybe earlier on in the day. But still, there are many more maps to go. We can't just count China Win out quite yet. But we've seen some great performances out of them, and we'll see how those great performances continue to thrive here in map number 1. The defensive side not looking good, but still an opportunity to get some rounds up. So, early slow orb, very interesting to see how that landed and where it ended up going. It's going to be wood where that ends up, and for China Win, playing it safe, playing it standard, playing a little bit further back to gather information before they act.
Yeah, I like the play. I was always wondering where that Sage Frost orb was going from, so nice work by the Observer. So it lands towards the Octagon, because usually on this new meta for this bind side, you have a 3-man stack on this B side, and they try to take Octagon control first and battle up towards long B. So putting that Frost Orb down allows your teammates on the attacker side to move as a group, take control of that first, then have a better split from Hookah and from long B. Right now, we do have our Hunter's Fury coming out from Raucus as they're moving in. A counter for Hunter's Fury to come in from, no, sorry, we didn't have the counter coming through, but Baby Bay's going to get their first kill onto DXN. Now moving inside the site. It should be an easy plan, at least, as Cute Fat Boy is looking to soar through with his teammates on this retake, all stuck inside the spawn. And the Boombot's going to come out first, and that clock is ticking down, but they have great pulse positioning right now for the attacker side. They have an orbital strike too. Here comes Corey in around the corner. They never spot the corner. And finally, Decop takes him down. Last one to go. It's going to be Zachary. As they had great positions, right now they leave Raucus by himself towards the Octagon side with the operators. So hectic as it could be, Raucus is now in a dark cover. They're pinging it out for him. He's trying to spray across forward too. It's on this 2 versus...
Nice.
Oh, he actually lands it! And now that clock is ticking down with no HP left. Decop runs out with a knife out because he had no time. Decop actually had to push through. He had to push through, and Raucus saves it for the team of FaZe.
Man, 3rd time's the charm there on the op shot, and that is a round that you don't want to lose if you're trying to win, because now the economy is not looking so hot. It's going to be a little bit of a mixed bag. The Salvation Army has been gracious to Decop and Pancakes, but everyone else, they can't really afford some of those Phantoms. It's likely going to be the double down on the eco, but wow, what a round there from FaZe. And I mean, at the end of the day, they tried to ping it out, and those first shots didn't really connect, but have to tip my hat over to Raucus there. To be honest, I think that could have been a lot better from FaZe. They had some great post-plant positions. They didn't even notice Corey playing in that cubby there by the tuna can. Like, they just pushed in, and he even threw the blast pack at them from the direction of the cubby. I didn't know how they didn't see it. But anyways, still around one here for FaZe, and now we're moving into the next. Lots of ultimates on the table here for trying to win. Got the Showstopper, Neural Theft, and the Hunter's Fury. We'll see how it's used, because sometimes you might see some of these, specifically the Showstopper on the eco, used to great effect.
We start off aggressive here on the defender side, as they are on an eco for trying to win. As he hears a lot of footsteps, you still had Baby Bay lurking right now. He knows there's a second set of footsteps. Finally go close range, but it's going to be DXN that still wins that fight. So Classic to the face, salvages a Phantom on top of that, heals himself too, but they are actually running inside this B side for FaZe. So DXN in a great position, but caught with an orb in his hands, and he gets headshotted by Marv. Decop coming from behind. It's going to be a Judge hold down, but Rock is waiting for him. But a nice long range. That's going to be the Stinger for a 1 kill, but cannot get the second one, unfortunately. We could maybe get a res for the Econ if we wanted to. You see him kind of run for it. A little bit too far in the end there for Zachary. So it's going to be 7-2. I mean, I guess you don't really need to for the Econ, because they've won so many rounds in a row so far for FaZe.
Yeah.
But at least a moment of salvation for trying to win here, Simo, is that they have 4 ults to work with. This could be the moment where they could actually at least get a third round in this first half.
Yeah, this would be the opportunity, but still they did some pretty hefty damage on that eco there, taking out, what, 3? It was just down to 2 for the side of FaZe, and at the end of the day, that's what you want to do on eco rounds. Not everybody can be Roka on Bloom and just win these Sheriff ecos against teams like TSM. So still a good job. Now we're seeing that orbital strike come through. Pancakes has to push in, and Corey will be waiting there in the showers with his open arms. Now the rest of the team funneling in from A short. Decop's ready with the Showstopper, and that's going to be wall play. She still manages to go right over it and takes out Zachary. Now Blueblock going to try to clear out some of those members pushing in. It's Marv that answers back with the Molotov, but still the spike needs to go down, and the defense are here to attack.
That's right. So you do have Corey coming out with his own Showstopper. Rock is getting another kill onto DXN, and as he makes it into the heaven, gets the headshot. Low HP is going to be the Tai T with 4, and he dies from bullets, or he dies from paint shells. It was a nice push going in from Corey and from FaZe. A valiant attempt, at least from Decop, getting the first kill from the U with that Showstopper to stop the spike carrier to make it into the site. But aside from that, I think he was lone gun there. There was really not much support coming in for trying to win on the defender side, which gives an advantage now for FaZe to take the lead by 6. A much different game from FaZe than the first best out of 3 when they played against China Win before. So the revenge, it's looking good now. So I got the Caster's Curse when I said that the money was right for China Win. They were starting to come back. And as soon as I said that, it's now 6 rounds won in a row here for FaZe Clan.
I mean, I still have to commend China Win for their performance this tournament, but that might have to be put on pause as Decop gets a little aggressive. The Bucky's going to go buck wild just for a little bit, finds one. The Resurrection really nullifies that frag. Now the 4v5, we'll see how the execute comes through. The defense really gambled on towards the B side, so it's 3 sprinting, trampling through the spawn to make it through vents. We'll see how they make their way through lamps and the rest of the site. But that spike's already down, and now here comes their retake.
Clock is ticking now. Just started, so they still have a lot of time to work with for the defender side. Could move in slowly as Adine, but as their teammates are slowly falling one by one, nice Hunter's Fury that's going to tag one, possibly a kill with success onto Tai T. And DXN, the only one to get a kill onto that one off this sort of retake with the low amount of bind that they had. A couple of shares. I think I saw a Bucky at the beginning of the round too. That makes it down 9-2. One more to go in this first half, but definitely a dominating attacker side for FaZe Clan to kick off this best out of 3 in the lowers, because again, their tournament is on the line. They had a super rocky start to start things off in their tournament here, Simo, and now they have a chance to come back. They had a good win versus 100 Thieves. They're looking for the revenge here, and they might still be able to make it out of group.
Be honest, I have to tip my hat to Gaskin here. It's not over till the cute fat boy sinks. China Win still have plenty of opportunity, especially in the second half. this one's already starting to fall apart. But really, if we start looking at the second half, it's the pistol that'll be the most important for China to win, no pun intended. And for them, that's crucial. We're having an early look at a portal play that we're not really used to seeing. QFatBoy hops through. Shot's going to be good from Corey. Operator will take him out of commission. And now it's just down to 2 players. They have a res available, but all of the bodies are piled up behind enemy lines. So Dixon not really going to have a good time. Oof. Manages to find the frag onto Baby Bay. Takes the hat right off the Cypher. And now still the retake comes in. All down to Dixon. Last member standing. That's the barrel of the weapon. But when will he pull the trigger? That's going to be very unfortunate. Misses the first shot. Here's the swing. That's going to be good. Now down to the 1v3. And Corey, he's been holding that angle ever since he was born. And he finds Dixon. A good, great half here from the side of FaZe.
Yeah, and you see that FaZe, they never let off the gas off the pedal here, Simo. As soon as they started winning those rounds, you saw how aggressive those rounds were. You saw how fast, actually, they ran into the site. So, with the exception of a couple of times that they tried to work towards this B side, you have to work a little bit slowly, and just in case you have an operator looking at the Octagon side to opt down towards the Fountain side. So that could slow things off for a bit, and hookah control is always super slow. But every time that they're trying to work towards this A side, it's been super quick, and it seemed to have caught China Win off guard when they were playing at defender side. So, got to commend them on this first half. Now we switch sides here on this pistol. Ever so important now for China Win to at least try to come back in the second half. Usually, you see all of these teams, maybe 95% of the time, when this map is picked, the opponent team is going to be taking the defender side first because they're more comfortable on that. But now you're looking at this 10-2. They have to take the attacker side for China Win now. It's not looking too good for them on this side.
Yeah, so it's almost live or die here on the pistol. You know, there's still an opportunity, but it's not going to come as easy. So now we're going to start to see the push-in coming from China Win. That's going to be the paint shells. Then I don't really know if those are allied or enemy. Ooh. So far, it's a trade of kills. Corey's going to find an aerial decop while the rest of the team now going to try to get the spike down. The defense, they're here, and Corey is able to keep it alive while the rest of the team comes through. Now it's down to the 4v2. Here comes Corey. He's going to find another. Who is this man? He came to play.
Like I told you, Simo, when it comes down to Corey playing on Bind, he's definitely going to pull out that raise, and he's cracked on that raise. This time, he didn't really need to use his abilities that much. It's all him just working the pistols. But look at that, 24-4. How many showstoppers that we've seen so far from the kills from all the maps that he's played on Bind in this tournament, but also he's just on point with how he's rifling too. The amount of times that he went towards the Heaven side on the attackers and missed a showstopper, but still able to switch over to a Phantom and instantly get kills down towards the spawn side. He's the first guy you need to control. You need to take this guy down, or now that you know that Corey's playing towards you, maybe try your luck on the B side instead.
And to be quite honest, maybe not every team, but a lot of teams have a star player that if you shut them down early, if you find a way to get them out of commission, it actually proves to be a very fruitful round. So that you might be on the money there for how China Win can win, but it's hard to just find a single player, especially if you condition playing on a specific site. So Corey, he played A site last time. He's playing A site this time. Maybe that was the correct call. China Win, they're on a 4-up. So for them, super pivotal that they win because they'll be down to pistols in the next round, and they don't want to do that. So FaZe, they're ready. They're prepared. They have a lot of hookah control, and China Win, they've taken a lot of time to try to push in here. And Corey, he's already there with the flank. Not really sure what weapon he has, but now he's starting to pull back. Maybe the correct call, the call from FaZe was, hey, we don't know where they are. We still don't know where they are. We're hearing some things, hearing some footsteps. We'll see if Corey's able to find some frags.
Yeah, and Corey only has a ghost, and he's walking right back into this. He, at least thankfully here for the attacker side, they're walking themselves, but he's going to get the first point of contact. Unfortunately, the cape peeking out, and he's going to blast pack his way back towards the shower, so he gets some backup from his teammate, being the Silva, playing towards the showers. It's going to be Raucus to support him right there. But you still have a lurk from QFatBoy here. If he can get a kill towards B side, they could still go through teleport and take B. But looking at this minimap, the commitment is towards A. QFatBoy takes the teleport towards A instead. Raucus is suck pipe. They get the first kill and second kill in favor of China Win, and a long-range Spectre in the face of Zachary. So at least they'll get the plant. 10 seconds left on the clock. It's a 4 versus 2, and they're actually split off across the map, and Baby Bay has to try to retake with a Judge on top of that.
I mean, if this is a round that FaZe win, it would be impressive. And already it starts with a great frag here from Baby Bay. Still, it's 3 strong, and they have the man advantage. And now it's even worse. Baby Bay, last member standing, has the Judge in hand. Gonna peek the smoke. That's one that comes easy. Guess what? Cute Fat Boy, he's been there all along. So China win a desperate round that they needed. But if you look at some of the members of FaZe, they were on Ghosts in that previous round. So what does that mean for them? They might have some weaponry that they can still tango with China win. And for the opposite side, they will not really have the most ideal weaponry anyways. It's going to be this scrappy back and forth. But if you look at the round economy, China win, they don't have many rounds left that they can bleed.
Yeah, I know that Corey had a Ghost. That means he should have enough money to this one. Looking at the rest here, it seems as though they should have Phantoms, unless the overlay is kind of still broken. Yeah, so we have some Spectres, some Phantoms, and a Bucky at this point now for the defenders. So they know that the economy is sort of broken as well for China win on the attacker side. Because they forced bot, they had a couple of guys, maybe 3 guys that died. So only short upgrades moving forward for the attacker side of China win. So they're going to have 2 guys inside Hookah, 3 guys from China win pushing forwards towards B. They're looking to split towards this side, but they have this 3-man stack for FaZe.
China win just playing it safe, trying to clear out all possible angles, you know. In these specific scenarios, a team either steps up to the plate and really just comes out of nowhere and outperforms, or they play safe because they're afraid to lose, right? Mm-hmm. They're not willing to gamble because they have so much that they want to prove. You know, at the end of the day, China win, if we look at it on paper, the 4 qualifier teams coming into this, they're not signed. You know, just because Mixup Val tweeted a couple of signatures, they're not signed yet, okay? They're signed, but they're not signed yet. But on the opposite side, Corey in Baby Bay was waiting all along, and thus that's the judge, and he sends him back to the graveyard. There's one more for his money, Baby Bay, and the Phantom upgrade. China win. What can you do now at this point?
Yeah, you kind of, as Baby B, are like, oh crap, I just wasted my Neural Theft for no reason, but at least he got a 4K on top of that. Moment of silver lining for him, at least into that round. But like you asked, Simo, what can he do at this point? It seems like nothing really, because as every time they're trying to take this Hookah control, they only make it towards that B ramp. They haven't used anything else really to try to take control of the Hookah side, and they don't even know how many people are actually stacked inside that area because they never really went for full fights in there to know if it's going to be a 2-man stack or 3-man stack, if they're playing 2 guys towards Octagon, and this time it's just going to change things over. They are oozing with confidence right now for the defender side. FaZe pushing to make that 3 players to start things off towards lower B. It's a trade-off at least, long range with the Sheriff. We're trying to get a res at least, and we will, onto Cute Fat Boy. A Molly's on the ground. We have paint shells being thrown too, but the damage is done, the information is there. Although they've lost a player at the beginning of the round, the only thing they may pick up is probably that rifle that was left behind on that battle. But everything else should be low on the gun system, at least, for China win.
We'll have to see the Owl Drone from Tai T just trying to clear things out. Marv, of course, playing towards the cubby. The elbow will be smoked off. And now we'll see the attack. You know, they're a little hesitant and they're afraid Marv's going to find 2, but still, it is going to be the man advantage at the end of the day for China win. And Zachary going to push in. That's the Bucky, but Pancakes. Now it's Baby Band.